cinema matinee. I ain't got 750 to pay.
This is the true story of Robin Hood, and you know what? I believe that this is the real Robin Hood because this motherfucker stole 2.5 hours of our time.
Damn, I was waiting on that joke.
I knew somebody was going to do this. The same thing they did with that last King Arthur movie where they're like, no, this is the real story.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, based on some bullshit.
Damn, how many movies is Ridley Scott trying to fit into this?
Well,
All of them.
I mean, we got Gladiator, got Braveheart in here. Funny because you do expect him to run up on a hill and run into Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
You know both of them crazy, like Russell Crowe and Mel Gibson together. He'd be like, hey, you a Jew? Oh, you're a pansy? Blah, 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 blah.
That would be the crazy drunken bar fight of all time with those two together.
Well, hey, don't forget all those scenes they stole from Saving Private Ryan.
And then they show like the arrows going into the water, like the bullets.
Yeah.
I expect them to like think they're gonna run up in medieval times when they run off the boats. They actually running through a minefield. God damn it! I'm not talking about that shit. First of all, don't bother bullshit here with this title, Robin Hood. Okay, you don't get no Robin Hood in this movie. Okay, this movie is a setup for the true Robin Hood that we know today.
Yeah, it's episode 1, The French Menace.
Yes.
Or maybe it's a pilot for a TV series.
Yeah, it feels like that. It feels like the
Very
beginning
bad.
of a TV series.
Ridley Scott fooled everybody to come and see a 2.5 hour setup about Robin Hood.
Yeah.
This story deals with the invasion of England from the French and how Robin Hood stepped in to help curb this invasion and then get the honor and respect of the people, which made Prince John very jealous.
Yeah.
And that is what made Robin Hood an outlaw.
And I was like, holy f***, I heard about, taking your artistic license and changing shit around, but I was like, when the f*** did all this happen?
Right.
What?
You know what? What's the number one thing you think of with Robin Hood, right? Like trick archery stuff and cool archery stuff?
Yes.
How many times does he even fire a bow in this goddamn
Yeah.
movie?
Okay,
There's really only one trick shot in the entire film. It's not till the very end of the movie.
I gotta applaud you. It does feel like episode 1.
It does.
No, it
The
is.
Trade
It is.
Federation
Yeah.
and everything. It was like, wow, we're getting too much into the sideline stuff here of stuff that takes all the fun out of it.
Well, that's the thing we always liked about Robin Hood. Him being so, fun-loving and affable.
There's 3 villains, and some of the villains that we want, we don't get. Prince John, who's played by Oscar Isaac.
I love that guy.
That guy, now, he was overacting.
He was.
But at least he gave us something.
He was fun to watch.
Weasley.
Mark Strong comes in. Godfrey.
Yeah.
I knew it.
It's like, okay, so it's Mark Strong with a shaved head and a little scar on his cheek. You're like, okay, generic villain number 13 for Mark Strong.
Matthew McFadden, the sheriff of Nottingham, ain't even.
Barely.
He's non-existent in this.
He makes
Yeah,
a
he's-
cameo, but he's like a joke.
May Mary, I mean, Kate Blanchett, totally wasted in here. Loxley is Max von Sydow.
Oh, my God.
He sounds like he's dying. You can't even understand what he's saying. He's like,
Your father was a philosopher. He had a way of speaking that took you by the ears.
for a Ridley Scott movie, the action in here horrible because they not only filmed the action too close, but they put a strobe on everything, and then the editing is bad. Hey, look, Russell Crowe's a good actor. We know that. Whatever, and he's good in this film for the little time he has, but he's overshadowed by his married man because they have 2 actors I really like in here. Like Kevin Durand plays Little John.
My men at arms. This is about as courtly as they get. Alan Adale, Will Scarlett, and Little John, Lady Marian.
I trust you had an historic evening.
Oh, for sure.
Mark Addy as Friar Tuck, I thought was actually.
Although I
pretty cool.
can't see Mark Addy and not think Fred Flintstone. Ever since he played Fred
since he
Flintstone.
played Fred Flintstone.
Yeah.
I could forgive almost everything if it wasn't for the fact that, once again, it just nothing happens.
Sitting through this, I was nodding off like in the first 20 minutes, and then I looked over at Corey, and Corey was passed out.
I saw everybody else how bored they were. Like, no, they'll forgive me. For
No,
this
it was boring.
I'm kind of pissed that they kept me in this movie 2.5 hours, and then at the end, it's like, oh, and here comes Robin Hood. Now, I admire them for trying to do something different with Robin Hood. I really do, but they made it painfully boring, and it lacks any sense of adventure. So I got to give this some more bullshit.
Like, hey, man, I got to give this some old bullshit just on the general principle that they cannot make another one.
You said it. It's some old bullshit. You're right.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because I don't want there to be a sequel.
Honestly, I'm giving this movie a you because I was fucking dying in that theater. I'm serious.
Hey, it seemed like a good idea on paper is the best thing I could say.
Yeah, keep it there.
I mean, I just can't see Russell Crowe as Robin Hood. Not that he's not a
Really?
good actor.
Why not?
Because I still see him as that bad-tempered guy that's throwing phones at people at hotels. when I see Russell Crowe with that bow and arrow, I see him like shooting that and just missing and being like, F it, and just beating, and just beating the everybody.
Yeah.
Like,
Russell Crowe patient enough to learn how to use a bow and arrow at all. I'd be like, snap it in half, shove it up your ass.
Theme song we start playing.
even though it's like, again, medieval times, somehow you find a phone somewhere.
I was gonna say, I want to see Russell Crowe on a horse riding down like with a big satchel full of telephones and just throwing them at people on a hill.
This bow and arrow. Give me a phone. What's a phone? This bitch.